I'm curious about the kind of tech debt, or when we in the product realm talk about feature factory thinking, what we're going to end up maybe producing by people getting so enamored by the idea of this.
The experience that we've had so far is it's garbage in, garbage out, right? If you have garbage code already in there, it tries to mimic what you've already done and it builds garbage on top of garbage. That's more probably the impetus to bad code than anything else.
I mentioned like a gap in critical or thinking skills or communication if you're not getting the results from the vibe coding tools. But to succeed, you need to have a broad set of relevant experience that you can pattern match from. And so it's really helpful if you have that. And it's a real potential minefield if you don't have that broad experience.
Those critical thinking skills required for successful vibe coding is actually learning the idiosyncrasies of various LLMs.
You have to define more around what you're optimizing for than anything else. Are you optimizing for good code, or are you optimizing for something quick? I think that really depends on who's sitting in the chair playing with that tool.
Good product leaders balance the data with the intuition. And I've seen people succeed where they have an awareness of their blind spots in both of those sort of data-centric and intuition-centric approaches. And you have to be able to understand, even if the data is leading you to what you think is right, maybe it's just an interpretation of that data was wrong, and you need to think back to first principles about what your customer needs and what your business goals are.
It needs to be grounded in customer behavior, right? Like you can hear it, you can see it, but you need to actually see it in the customer behavior and how they act. And then you just really need to look at that as the start of an idea that you still need to go out and validate. You can't just make changes based on those vibes immediately. You need to still go through and do your due diligence, validate, test things out. One thing that it can help you with though, maybe is validating quicker by getting out maybe like basic wireframes or applicable prototypes that you could put in front of people that you could validate really quickly. I think it can help you, but you also need to still do your job and validate the functions or ideas.